1 prediction, stuns. 2 predictions, astonish. This will leave them speechless. This is CoachTrick. Welcome back to another amazing tutorial. As far as prediction effects go, this has got to be up there as one of the best. Better still, the trick is a self-working marvel, can be performed with any shuffled deck and requires absolutely no setup. As ever, stick with us to the end as we explore how learning magic can empower you to greater confidence and success more widely. Okay, let's jump into it. Grab a deck and let's go. Okay, so as ever, let's kickstart by taking a look at the effect itself. Now this is going to be a miraculous double prediction, and we're going to start with a shuffled deck. So just take the cards, hand those to a spectator. They can shuffle those up as much as they like. The cards really are mixed. With that done, you're now going to take the deck with a view to making a couple of predictions. So you're just going to look through the cards like so, and you're just going to try to sense a couple of predictions. Now these are predictions which just come to mind naturally as you look through the cards. Okay, so let me see. Yes. Okay, I think I've got them. So once you think you've got your predictions, you're then just going to note them down. So take a piece of paper or card and a pen, and on here you're just going to note down your first prediction. So make sure the spectators can't see. You're just going to note that down like so, and then once that's done, you're just going to fold that up and then place it onto the table. You're then going to take a second piece of paper or card, and on here you're going to note down your second prediction. So once again, make sure the spectators can't see. Just note that down. And then once again, fold it up and then place that on the table also. You're now going to take the deck in order to generate a couple of random numbers. So ask a first spectator just to cut off a random number of cards from the top of the deck. Not too many, say less than 10, but it's a totally free choice. So let's say they cut this many cards off just here and place them down onto the table. You're then going to ask a second spectator to do exactly the same from the bottom of the deck, to cut off any number of cards, less than 10, but it's a totally free choice. So let's say they cut this many cards off just here, like so. You can emphasize at this point that the spectators could have cut any number of cards. It was a totally free choice, and those are totally random numbers. We now want to use those numbers in order to select cards from the deck. So ask the first spectator to count how many cards they cut from the deck just here. So they'll take their cards and count them out like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're now going to count down that many cards in the deck. So in this instance, 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which takes us to this card just here. Have the first spectator remember this as their randomly selected card. So here we can see the 7 of spades. With that remembered, you can just emphasize that it really was a free choice. A spectator could have chose any card, including any of these cards just here. You're now going to repeat exactly the same with the second spectator. Ask them to count how many cards they cut from the deck just here. So they'll count their cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're now going to count down that many cards in the deck. So in this instance, 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, which takes us to this card just here. Have the second spectator remember this as their randomly selected card. So here we can see the 6 of clubs. And once they've remembered that, you can emphasize once again, there is a totally free choice. They could have selected any card, including any of these, or even any of these. It really was totally random. And with that done, you can now just gather up the deck like so. At this point, we can quickly recap what's happened. From a shuffled deck, each spectator cut a totally random number of cards. They then used that number to select a random card from the deck. Those cards were then lost in the deck. There is absolutely no way that you could have known the chosen numbers or the selected cards. It was totally random. We also have our 2 predictions, which have been on the table from the very start. You're now going to ask the first spectator to open and read the first prediction. So to take the prediction, they'll open it, and we can see that it says the number 15. You can explain to the spectator that this clearly relates to the 15th card in the deck. So you're now going to take the deck and deal down 15 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Placing the 15th card aside, just here. For the first time now, you're going to ask the first spectator to reveal the value of their selected card. Of course, in this instance, it was the 7 of spades. And now you can reveal this card right here, the 15th card in the deck, matching the prediction, is indeed the 7 of spades. So that's one perfect match. You can now take the deck and spread the cards face up on the table. You're now going to ask the second spectator to find and remove their selected card. Remember, this is a totally random selection, and in this instance, it was the 6 of clubs. So they look through the cards. We can see the 6 of clubs up here, and they'll remove their selected card. You can now take the second prediction, remember, which has been on the table the entire time, and you can reveal that it does indeed predict that the second spectator will select the 6 of clubs. A brilliant double prediction that's also super simple to perform, so stick around because now I will show you exactly how it works. Okay, so let's take a look at the secret to this effect. Now, you really do start with a shuffled deck, and that's what adds to the impact. Now, as you take the deck and look through the cards to make your predictions, here's what you're going to do. You're secretly going to count to the 15th card from the face of the deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, obviously do that silently and just as a natural part of going back and forth through the cards. But once you get to the 15th card, you're going to note that as your prediction card. So in this instance, the Queen of Spades. And with that card noted, you're just going to close the deck back up. You're now going to note down your predictions. Your first prediction is going to be the number 15, and it will always be the number 15. So you're just going to note that down, and then you can fold that up and place it down on the table as your first prediction. Your second prediction is going to be the prediction card that you've just noted as the 15th card from the face of the deck. So in this instance, the Queen of Spades. So you're just going to note that down, and then once again, you can just fold that up and place it on the table as your second prediction. You're now going to ask the first spectator just to cut a random number of cards from the top of the deck. Now, for this trick to work, each spectator needs to cut 14 or less cards. So to make sure they don't cut too many, you can just ask them to say maybe cut 10 or less, as that sounds like a nice round number. So the first spectator will cut some cards from the top of the deck and place them on the table. You'll then turn the deck over, and the second spectator will cut some cards from the bottom of the deck and place those on the table like so. You'll now ask the first spectator to count their number of cards. So in this instance, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're now going to count down that many cards from the face of the deck. So 4 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the fourth card here, you're going to ask the first spectator to remember that as their selected card. So here we can see it's the Jack of Diamonds, and then place this card back on top of the dealt cards. You're now going to deal some more cards on top of the dealt cards to make up 14. Remember, we already have 4 here, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And just do that silently as part of showing all the cards to be different. You'll then take the dealt cards and place these on top of the cards you're holding. You'll now ask the second spectator to count their cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're now going to count down that many cards from the face of the deck. So 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Taking the 5th card as the second spectator's selected card. In this case, the Queen of Spades, which is obviously our prediction card. And then place this card back on top of the dealt cards. Once again, you're going to deal some more cards to make up 14. So we already have 5, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And again, do that silently, just as you emphasize they really did have a free choice. With that done, you're now going to take the cards you're holding and place these face up on top of the dealt cards. You're then going to take the second spectator's cards and place these face up on top like so. You'll then turn the deck face down and take the first spectator's cards and place these on top like so. You can now ask the first spectator to open and read the first prediction. It will reveal the number 15. You can now take the deck and just deal down 15 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 13, 14, 15, placing the 15th card aside and then taking the dealt cards and placing these back on top of the deck. You can now reveal the 15th card here to be the spectator's selected card, in this instance, the Jack of Diamonds. You can now take the deck and spread the cards face up on the table. You can now ask the second spectator to find and remove their selected card. Obviously, in this instance, it was the Queen of Spades. And all that's left to do now is to take your second prediction and reveal it's a perfect match for the second spectator's selected card, the Queen of Spades. As we wrap up, remember that magic isn't just about tricks. It's about the journey of learning, practicing, and growing. Here at CoachTrick, we believe that what seems impossible can become achievable with the right focus and determination. By mastering skills like this, you're building a confidence and discipline to take on challenges in all areas of life. So keep pushing your boundaries and never stop exploring the amazing things you're capable of. Thanks for joining me today. Until the next stop on your journey, keep the magic alive and take care.